Anthropic just pulled off the most dangerous move in the AI wars, and almost everyone is misunderstanding what they actually launched. They didn't just release a new AI model, they released a completely autonomous engineering team. You have to understand the split. Claude Fable 5 is the brain, a massive Mythos-class frontier model, but Ultracode is the harness. It is a native setting that gives Claude standing permission to spin up a swarm of verifying subagents for every single task. When you combine the two, you get a self-orchestrating machine, and the benchmarks are completely shattering the industry. On SWE-bench Pro, the hardest end-to-end GitHub issue resolution test on Earth, Fable 5 scores an absolutely staggering 95%, leaving GPT-5.5 and Claude Opus in the dust. It is achieving this through sheer parallel execution, but having access to an autonomous swarm is a massive financial liability if you don't have the architecture to command it. That is exactly why the top 1% of builders are inside the AI Money Forge. My private community of over 400 founders isn't just reading benchmark charts. We are actively building the workflows to control these swarms. I just pushed a massive update live to the Forge classroom. When you join, you bypass the learning curve entirely. Inside the vaults, I give you the literal standard operating procedures. Look at these new workflows. I give you the exact phase-by-step action plans, the tool stacks, and the copy and paste prompt templates to assign roles to your subagents. And to orchestrate those workflows, members get VIP access to the Forge arsenal. I have indexed over 1,100 AI tools, MCPs, and GitHub builds. You don't have to guess which frameworks support Fable 5's parallel execution. You just open the arsenal and deploy the verified stack. If you want my dev team to architect these systems for you, go to Forge Studio. But if you want the blueprints and the arsenal to build it yourself, hit the link in the description. Now, let's look at how Ultracode actually works. Here is the secret to the 95% success rate. When you trigger the effort Ultracode flag, the AI stops improvising in one reply. It initiates a MapReduce swarm. It reads your prompt, splits the independent parts, and spins up to 16 parallel subagents to gather facts and write code simultaneously. It then forces a verification pass, cross-checking every output before integrating it into one cohesive answer. You can dial in the intensity using simple / commands, scaling from XG all the way up to full Ultracode. But there is a massive catch. Anthropic literally calls it the token Inferno because it spins up so many parallel workers checking against the full context window, it burns through tokens at a terrifying rate. You only reach for this when you are doing massive codebase-wide audits or executing large migrations. For simple scripts, you are just burning money. But when you do let it loose, the results are borderline magic. Forget back-end Python scripts for a second. Look at what happens when you point the Ultracode swarm at front-end UI design. We prompted Claude to build a product landing page. It didn't just write HTML. It autonomously coded a fully interactive, scroll-linked 3D WebGL environment. It calculated the lighting, the rotation matrices, and the particle effects for these earbuds entirely from a single prompt. When put head-to-head against GPT-5.6, the architectural differences are insane. In video generation, Fable 5 understands deep cinematic storytelling and complex multi-agent scene rendering. When generating 3D web assets like these interactive Orven sunglasses, Fable 5 is writing pixel-perfect shaders. And look at this data dashboard comparison. It is autonomously rendering interactive rotating planetary UI nodes, fusing heavy back-end data fetching with a front-end aesthetic that rivals senior design agencies. Even in mobile application development, the swarm dominates. We asked both models to build a complex iOS meal tracking app. While OpenAI builds a clean, standard interface, Fable 5 generates a stunning editorial-style layout, autonomously pulling in high-res assets and structuring the dynamic database logic behind the scenes. It's even coding real-time, playable 3D driving games, complete with collision mechanics and score tracking. Anthropic is sending a very clear message. Fable 5 isn't just an AI, it is an orchestrated intelligence capable of understanding the entire world, from biological systems to engineering blueprints. The era of the single-prompt chatbot is dead. The era of the self-orchestrating swarm is here. If you want the exact blueprints to deploy these systems today, click the first link in the description. Join the AI Money Forge, access the arsenal, and start building your empire. I'll see you inside.